Welcome to the Bringing Intimacy Back show, where intimacy is real. If you desire to intimately connect with yourself, significant other, children, family, friends, community, and higher power, then this is the show for you. We explore intimate topics, inspiring life stories, spirituality, and insightful tips on strengthening relationships. The show is hosted by Dr. April and her co-host, Coach K. Let's get this episode of the Bringing Intimacy Back show started. We share with you today the secret power to intimacy to create the life you love or love the life you create. Now here's your host, Dr. April, and her co-host, Coach K.
Welcome to the Bringing Intimacy Back show, where intimacy is real. How are you doing, Coach K?
I am amazing. And how about yourself?
Good. Happy Halloween. I'm so excited about today being Halloween.
Yes, I am getting ready to set up a haunted house with lots of ghosts and ghouls.
Yes. And, I was just thinking, on this show, we really talk about intimacy and just being fully present. Yeah. And you know what happened recently is I have this story to tell you. Okay. There was this ghost. Okay. Yes. And then there was this witch. Okay. This witch, her name was Wanda, and witch Wanda, she just really had a hard time staying like fully present. She just like loved to worry about the future and loved to just be so drawn back into her past and stuff. And she just wanted someone to love, And so she met this great guy. His name is Gary the ghost. Yeah. And she's like, you know what? I'm just really connecting with him because he pops up here, he pops up there. And he was giving her so much attention. Because that's what she wanted. She just wanted all this like attention. And so she, had a first wonderful time with Gary the ghost, and she just wanted him so much that she just like would follow him everywhere, would just like call him up and all this time. But then guess what happened, Coach K?
Well, what happened?
Yeah. Well, what happened was even though she really like wanted and they had such a great interaction and she was following him and just, trying to give him so much, all of a sudden he disappeared. And Wanda the witch was like, where is he? Yeah. And she was like, I don't know, and she was just really hurt by it because she's been trying to find him everywhere, and she's like even hoping today that he pops up, but she has not heard from him in about 3 weeks.
That sucks. So essentially Gary ghosted her.
Yes. Yeah. But she is beside herself. She is so upset. And now she's like, catching spells all over the place because she's like, I can't trust anyone. I'm so upset, And so I don't know if you can relate, but there are so many people that are like that, that are in that.
Yeah, I can't relate on honestly because I don't remember if people contact me back, but I know that it has to be a very hurtful feeling to be ghosted. And just like Wanda the witch, immediately she goes into I'm going after everyone mode. And she's like, I got spells for you, and her trust is all gone. All because Gary decided to take after his father, Casper, and ghost her.
Yes, definitely. So, if you're out there listening and you're like, oh my gosh, I feel that way. Please continue to listen because today that's what we're going to talk about. How to heal after being ghosted. Yes. But before we get into that, of course, we always want to talk about a charity of the month. And one of the charities we have for the month that sometimes it's really not sometimes, but it's a really great charity. It's called Lightening the Path, which is great because, many times, even when you're ghosted or you're depressed, you're in darkness. Well, Lightening the Path is a nonprofit organization that aims to empower people who have poverty and a variety of other issues. So check them out, lighteningthepath.org. Yes. But if you're out there listening, yes, it's a great organization. And you're like, it's Halloween and I have been ghosted. Please continue to listen because we have someone who specializes in helping us. Yes. And I'll be back. We'll be back in a moment.
Are you in a relationship with someone that you see often, but you feel so disconnected with them? Bringing intimacy back can help you bring the intimacy back to your relationship. BIB is dedicated to inspire, enlighten, and encourage intimate connections. Live shows, weekly guest speakers with over 29,000 downloads. We can help promote your products and services, grow your business and clientele with BIB. Want to become part of the BIB family? You can now sponsor with us.
Welcome back to the Bringing Intimacy show, where intimacy is real. Welcome, Gretta. Oh, yeah, you're muted.
Okay. Thank you so much for having me today.
Yes. So, Greta, you specialize in helping, people like Wanda. Yeah, she is very distraught because she feels like the man that she met and loved, this ghost of Gary, has ghosted her.
Yeah, I hear that, and it's a really, really hard thing to go through. I've been through that too. I've been Wanda, so I completely relate.
Yes. And so if someone's out there listening and they're like, well, what is ghosted? Because there may be people who are my age or older. It's like, what does that actually mean?
Yeah, so actually, I think there's a lot of confusion around this word because people tend to throw it around. So for my Coping with Ghosting podcast and platform, I like to define it using the Oxford Languages definition, which is the practice of ending a personal relationship with someone by suddenly and without explanation withdrawing from all communication. And I really want to clarify that this is different than leaving an abusive situation without a goodbye. That's actually just self-protection. And this is also different than disappearing after a boundary has been violated. That is self-respect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm glad you clarified those two because, many times when you leave an abandoned relationship or a relationship that's been destructive, you do have to leave and not make any more contact. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Which is totally different. Yes.
And ghosting can happen in business. It can happen in friendship. It can happen in family. It's not just about dating. People who are married can ghost. And so whether you, the listener, experienced ghosting recently or many years ago, if it was after one date or a long-term relationship, if you're still in pain, please know that your feelings are valid because this can really hurt and leave a lasting mark and scar on your heart. In fact, a lot of mental health professionals do consider this to be abusive behavior. So, yeah, it can be really, really traumatic.
Right. It's that emotional piece, or even it doesn't bring a sense of closure. It's like that person's just like abandoned you, and you have no idea why. In some aspect.
Yeah.
In the sense of people who ghost other people, do you feel like sometimes those people who ghost are also hurt in some way that they are not able to use their words?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's such a good point. I have compassion for people who ghost. In fact, I've ghosted myself. I hate to admit it. And I definitely experience feelings of guilt and shame and anxiety because of it. My therapist calls me a ghost who's healed. I've done the work. I've reached out. I've apologized. It's not like I did it to a bunch of people,
Right.
but it's just something that I did in the past because at that time in my life, I didn't have mature adult communication skills. I didn't know how to respectfully end a relationship. I thought I had to explain every single little problem of the relationship to the person in order to end it. And that felt uncomfortable to me. I didn't realize there were alternatives of kind of just saying like, hey, this isn't working for me for personal reasons or whatever. A nice like little thing that just made it so that I didn't have to like overshare. And so I ghosted and yeah, hurt people do hurt people. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So in the sense of the victim, many times they don't, at first you don't know you're being ghosted.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So you try to reach out and reach out. From your experience, how much do you try to do all of that before you realize, oh, this is
Yeah.
what this is?
Yeah, that's such a good question. So if somebody thinks there's being ghosted, I think it's the most important thing to do is not immediately jump to conclusions and assume that the relationship is over.
Right.
Because if somebody hasn't responded, there could be a million reasons why. Like maybe they just dropped their phone in the toilet, or maybe they didn't see your last message, or maybe they're having a personal emergency. Like life sometimes can get really crazy and it's easy to forget to reply. And also like communication is really tricky, at least for me, like texting and social media, like sometimes both people aren't on the same page and somebody thinks like, oh, this doesn't actually require a response when the other person does. So I just think the most important thing you can do if you think you're being ghosted is to check in with that person in like a totally chill way. Like, hey, I haven't heard from you in a minute. Like, how are you? And ask them a question, try to get a response out of them. And I do actually have a free guide on my website. It's 6 copy and paste texts to send to your ghost. And this is a great guide because it shows you and walks you through a ton of different scenarios of how to follow up if you think you're being ghosted. I would never assume I'm being ghosted until it's like at least a month. I mean, it kind of just depends on the cadence of the
Right.
communication you had with that person in the past. Like if I talked to them every day and then they didn't text me for a week, I'd do my cool little check-in and then I would wait a little bit and check in again if they like a week later if they haven't.
Right.
And I know those weeks can be really, really hard and feel really painful. But let me give you an example.
Okay.
My friend thought she was being ghosted by her friend, right? She thought, what the heck? She called me. She was really upset. And then a few weeks later, she calls me and she's like, you know what? My friend went to rehab. She checked herself in.
Wow. Yes.
And her phone was taken away. And my friend was so glad she didn't blow up her friend's phone being like, this relationship is over. How dare you? Like just play it cool because you sometimes just really don't know what a person's going through.
Right. So in that free pamphlet, what did you call it?
It's 6 copy and paste texts to send your ghost, and it's at the free resources part of my website.
Okay. So it's a good thing to look at, like if you feel like you're being ghosted, to look at that, and I can give you a sample of what you could send to a person that isn't offensive.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Which is a great thing because sometimes there's some people who are on their phones constantly, and I'm one who's on my phone a lot. However, I get so many messages, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes it takes a while to respond, and not that it has anything to do with that person. It's just, something that's, dealing with me. But I think sometimes when people are ghosted or feel like they're being ghosted, they feel like it's about them.
Yeah, that's the other thing is I don't think ghosting is personal. I don't. That's because you can't control how another person behaves, right? So a mature, healthy communicator will respectfully end a relationship. They'll use their words and, they'll say, hey, this isn't working for me. This friendship, this business partnership, this, dating situation, this isn't working for me. And you're a great person, but here's what's going on. But a ghost, their decision or their inability or unwillingness to show up like that, that's not your fault. You didn't choose that. That's on them. Their behavior is their responsibility. So it's not your fault that somebody is treating you like this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is very insightful. And then on the flip side, because I think you help people on the flip side, when you're no longer wanting to be in a relationship, the person's a decent person and whatever. And it's like, some people feel like I could just move on. But you're like, I don't know what to say. I'm so, yeah. Do you also have some suggestions or tips on that, Anne?
Yeah, I think, okay, so let's just give the example of breaking up. Okay. So you've been dating somebody for a while. Maybe it's been 6 months, something like that. I would go to a public place and meet them there. Definitely, this is something that I would do in person if possible. Definitely not over the phone or in text unless you absolutely have to. And then I would do it as a video chat if it's like a long distance relationship.
Right.
And I would use a bunch of I statements and I would try to do it as kindly as possible, like almost in a compliment sandwich. I'm so grateful that I met you. I've learned so much about myself. It's so interesting to me the way we've experienced each other. And yet I've just come to the conclusion that I'm not feeling what I need, the feelings I need to continue to move forward. And just like kind of a short and sweet little burst of explanation and then just silence. Just be quiet. Let them respond and see what they say. And you're in public, so they can't go like haywire. So let's just see how they respond and then kind of take it from there. Use I statements, use compassionate, gentle communication. And honestly, if they don't get it, if they want to like talk for hours and you don't, then you can say like, listen, I have something to do after this. Like just set a limit, like set some boundaries, like know how long you want to go into that conversation for, because I think they do deserve an explanation, but it can sometimes like breakup conversations that last like 6 hours. That's just overwhelming to everyone.
Oh, that's too much. Yeah. That can be trauma right there. Definitely.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. And then how do you deal with if you told the person that you're, done and all that, and then they still trying to contact you? And if you block their number, is that?
Yeah, absolutely. I would 100%. This really depends. And this is also a situation where if a ghost comes back too, I think that like what's really important is that you set clear boundaries.
Okay.
And as Brene Brown said, clear is kind.
Right.
So you can say, in order to heal my heart, I've learned that going 30 days of no contact is kind of one of the healthier things that we can do. Okay. And so for the next 30 days, I'm going to have your number blocked. And after that, if you want to come and contact me, maybe we can talk then. But like, I think that's a completely reasonable request and thing to do. I certainly, if I'm on good terms with a person, I'd say, I am blocking your number. This isn't about you. This is just about me needing time and space to heal my heart. Like, yeah.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I never thought of how people like block and then unblock.
Yeah, totally.
Yes, yeah.
And some of the things that I would say, if you're being ghosted, one of the most important things you can do for yourself is to block the ghost. Block, delete, unfollow, clear their belongings from your home, remove any photos. One thing that I had to learn the hard way is unfollow their Venmo. Give yourself like the space you need
Right.
to not have constant ghostly reminders. And then also don't chase them. So the person who hurt you is not going to heal you. Okay, you don't need an apology from a ghost in order to heal your heart and mind because they've shown themselves to be unavailable. Focus on your journey. Like when we're ghosted, it is so, oh my gosh, it's so hard. Like I was so hard on myself when I was ghosted, like after dating a relationship ghost, like,
Right.
oh my gosh, it was awful. So I decided to become really aware of my thoughts. Like everything I was thinking, I started challenging. So if you are beating yourself up, wondering like, why didn't I see this coming? Know that being ghosted is almost impossible to predict. It's sudden, it's shocking. And speaking from experience, it's really hard to see those red flags. Like it's easy to look back with 2020 vision, but like it's so hard to see those flags. And so I want you to, as Maya Angelou wisely stated, forgive yourself for not knowing what you didn't know before you learned it.
Right.
Yeah.
And when you know better, you do better. And I love how you put, you cannot heal from the ghost that hurt you. So,
yeah.
Yeah. Because sometimes people think, well, maybe I should have apologized. I should have done this. I should have done this. Maybe I didn't understand their perspective and they're like trying to chase them, like you said, or, yeah. And it's good to just stop all that social media aspect of any sort. Yeah. Because those reminders keep you stuck.
Right. And speaking of reminders, so many people don't follow that advice. And then they see the person who's ghosted them on social media with a new, let's say, date. And they're like, oh my gosh, that person's so attractive. That girl's so hot. Like, I wasn't attractive enough. And then they make it all about what they look like. So here's what I want to say. Ghosting isn't about us, but it does reveal the way we feel about ourselves. And the fact that they ghosted has nothing to do with your level of attractiveness or how smart you are or how cool you are. It really just is all about the ghost limitations. It's about the ghost issues. Okay. And so in order to heal from that, again, block them and treat yourself like you're your own best friend. Like kindness and self-compassion can go a long way after we've been ghosted. And also because this is so painful, I remember being like, I was crying on the floor kind of situation. So if you're like shocked and you don't even know what to do, I love this acronym. It's called HALT. It stands for hungry, angry, lonely, tired.
Yes.
And you can even just write the word HALT on a sticky note and like put it on your bathroom mirror, and it will help you to remember to take care of yourself. So like the H stands for, am I hungry or thirsty? So make sure you're eating some healthy foods to nourish your body. Like just continue to eat, because I know some people, they don't even feel like they can eat after this. So then the A stands for anger, and it's good to check in and say like, am I angry? I was so furious. I was so mad. I wanted to glitter bomb this guy's car.
Right.
Like, I wanted to,
yeah. And when you talk about anger, I'm just thinking there's always something underneath anger. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's, a betrayal, a hurt, loneliness, sadness. Yeah. Anger is just that physical outburst of something that's really going on inside.
Exactly. Yeah. And so the best revenge is living your best life. And so if you're angry, acknowledge that, like, okay, hey, anger. Hey, I see you. I see you're there. I know you're going to pass. I'm angry. Label it. I'm angry. Feel it. Like, accept it. Okay, we're here now. What am I going to do about it? I'm going to punch my pillow. I'm going to go scream in my car. I'm going to go on a run. I'm going to go to the gym. So those are some ways to address the anger. If you're feeling, the L in HALT is lonely. okay, here's where you call somebody who you can trust, somebody who has empathy for what you're going through, because so many people don't understand how freaking painful this can be.
Right.
And so a lot of people are so dismissive. Oh, well, that was a situationship. You should have just known that they would ghost you. Or like, oh, just move on. It's not a big deal. You dodged a bullet, whatever. Like, no, being ghosted can be, again, traumatic. So call somebody who has empathy, who will listen in a caring, loving way. So like a family member, you can call me. I've been ghosted. I totally get it. Go to therapy, go to a different coach.
Yes.
Get your feelings out. That's incredibly helpful. Like, and it, loneliness could also just be like, I just have no friends. They keep on ghosting me. Like, go to a meetup group, sign up for volunteer work, join a sports team. Like, there's so many different ways we can be with people and meet people and hang out with people. And then moving on, the T in health stands for tired. So this is another big one. Being ghosted, I believe it can be really exhausting. The second your head hits the pillow at night, you just start thinking about the person who ghosted you on a loop. So I actually do have 2 coping with ghosting podcast episodes dedicated to like how to set up like the perfect sleep environment and what to do if you can't sleep. So just remember to rest your body too. That's so important. Like, basic needs need to be met after being ghosted.
Right. And I would say, because ghosting is also a death of a relationship.
Right.
Yeah. So you're also grieving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're grieving so many different things. You're grieving the loss of this person in your life. Maybe you had a routine with them.
Right.
You're mourning your future together.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
Yes.
Oh, it's so hard.
It is. And so sometimes people get so consumed and that's all they can think about. They're trying to work at anywhere you're, I don't know, as a teacher or McDonald's or whatever. And they keep remembering about the ghost, about the person that's ghosting them, and they can't get their work done. And so one thing that I suggest to people is that when you're in any type of grief, set time aside to grieve. Don't let this ghost take all your 24 hours in a day. You need to cry in the morning, let it all out, and then go to work. If the person comes in your mind, you say, not now. I'm going to deal with you 7:30 tonight. Give yourself 30 minutes a night to cry, but do not let it, consume you. But you do need to let it out.
I love that. Absolutely. It's so important to honor what you're going through, maybe journal about it.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Like writing a letter to the ghost is also a really great way for you to grow around your grief. Mm-hmm. So here's a letter writing activity that I love. It's just write Dear Ghost or whatever their name is, and then write out every single thing you want to tell them, good, bad, ugly. Use colorful language. Do not send it to them.
Exactly.
Rip it up, throw it away.
Yes.
But that just, so cathartic. Like, I used to have so many nightmares about the person who ghosted me, and doing that once or twice really just cleared it all up.
Yeah, because you were allowed to let it out. It wasn't, stuffing inside you, which is great that you let it out, because if not, you carry these things on to other relationships.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So hard to trust after being ghosted.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. But like you said, and then the thing is also is to really kind of like say, what was it that attracted me to this person? What was it that I got? But when you look at relationships, how can I put it? It's not like we go to school and they teach us about relationships.
Right.
Yeah. What you hope is that as you go through relationships, they get better. You know what I'm saying? Like that one might have been an F, Now I had another guy and maybe he's a D, B, until we get to the A of some sort. But that gets with knowing ourselves. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. And you can totally find love again after being ghosted. I just am saying it for anyone who feels like, oh no, everybody is a ghost. Not everyone is a ghost. And yeah, I know that dating apps can often feel like a haunted merry-go-round.
Yes.
But like, honestly, there's so many great people out there, and reflect, just like you said, like reflecting on this relationship. Okay, what did I learn? what maybe were some of the signs that they were going to ghost that I possibly missed. Like not over analyzing it, just gently having compassion for yourself, getting curious about how did I show up? How did they show up? What do I want to do next time? Like that's all really helpful.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you. So if anyone's out there listening and they're like, how do I get in contact with her?
Yeah, you can visit my website, copingwithghosting.com. I offer private coaching sessions. I also have social media, so lots of it. Instagram is my fave. I can't believe I just said that. I'm so silly today. It's at Coping with Ghosting. Also listen to my Coping with Ghosting podcast. It's on YouTube. It's everywhere, on Spotify, Apple. So yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for being on the show. We really do appreciate it.
Oh my gosh, it's my pleasure. I'm honored to be here and I love what you're doing. So thank you.
Yes. And I exactly love what you're doing. And yeah. And so definitely check her out. And like you said, you have a podcast and it was voted the 15th most best podcast in the mental health aspect. So definitely check out her podcast, which is Coping with Ghosting also, right? It's the name.
Coping with Ghosting.
Okay, awesome. Yes. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. And we're going to take a short break and we'll be back in a moment.
Life can be overwhelming sometimes. We think we are a burden to others. We think that it's better to hide it and suppress our hurt, but it's not. As Cave Coral Therapists, we will provide you with quality, confidential counseling services in a relaxing and peaceful environment. Talk to a professional today. Book an appointment on www.cavecoraltherapist.com or call 239-565-6921.
Welcome back to the Bringing Intimacy Show, where intimacy is real. Wow. Gretta provided me so much information. Yes. Yeah. I'm like, I want to definitely, go ahead and share this. I know we had talked about, I was telling you about Wanda. Yeah. Yeah. And for her to realize, because one of the things Gretta was saying is that it is not about the person, when you've been ghosted. Yeah. Yeah. And Wanda kept thinking it was about her. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's really good to know that there's a specific person that can walk you through that situation, because there are a lot of people who they internalize that anxiety, because now it truly turns into what's wrong with me? What did I do? Instead of just kind of looking back, like she said, and just in general, what are those subtle things that I may have missed? Oh, I see how this person communicates with their family. They don't really, if they don't want to go to a family function, they kind of just don't call. And after about 3 days or so, they call as if nothing ever happened. Those are the things that we don't pay attention to, because why would we, right? We don't pay attention to that. But I think it's helpful to understand that most times it's not you. But the reality is sometimes it is. And it's okay to say, you know what? Maybe it's me, not in a negative way. Maybe I am too much for that person. I am too good for that person. So it's okay to think it could be me, but in a very positive way, that you were being shielded from something that could have been disastrous in your future. Right. So Wanda may have gotten, she may have gotten a good deal out of this thing. Maybe he would have turned up just like his dad, Casper, and just ghosted everybody. So Wanda may have gotten away with something pretty substantial.
Right, definitely. Yeah, and for Wanda, who may be listening to my show right now, if you're out there and you feel like you're just so hurt and you've got to torture everything that's around you, another thing is to maybe seek some help.
Yes.
Yeah, to understand, if it's me, what are things I need to work on, what's going on. And it's okay. I mean, this world is tough, so we all need help from one another.
Absolutely.
Yes. So what else is coming on in November?
All right. We have some great shows coming up. So on November the 7th, we have Unexpected Love. That's going to be with Dr. April and myself. On November the 14th, we have Race for What with JD Maz. And then on November the 21st, we're going to have Sexual Fantasies, a surprising source of intimacy with Artissima Divine. And then on November the 28th, we're going to take a look back at Learning to Love.
Welcome. Some amazing shows coming up. And so don't forget to think about Lightening the Path. It's a nonprofit organization. And if you like what we see, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter. And don't forget to check Gretta out with her Coping with Ghosting podcast. And we will see you. Happy Halloween, everyone. Yes, try not to ghost anyone, but of course, provide tricks and treats for the little ones. And I will see you guys next week. Take care.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Thank you for listening to today's episode of Bringing Intimacy Back, where intimacy is real. You can also find us at bringingintimacyback.com, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Dr. April Brown's 7-book series, Improving Intimacy, is now on Amazon. We'll see you next Thursday at 3:30 p.m. Don't forget to follow, share, and subscribe.